Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivas Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Yeah. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Karamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanshakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashta Praeshva Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. जय श्रीमद् भगवद गीता ऐसे की जय ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय श्री चैतन्य चरितामृत की जय श्रील गुरुदेव की जय वर्ड टू वर्ड सिनोनिम्स ट्रांसलेशन एंड पर्पस जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय श्री अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय श्री निताई गौरचंद्र प्रेमानंद हरि हरि बोल हरे कृष्णा. Hare Krishna. So please all of you can switch on your cameras please so you can start our program. So today, the discussion that I wanted to share with all of you um, pertains to a very important topic, and that Srila Prabhupada had said this in a letter. Prabhupada said the devotee should be independently thoughtful. Now, the reference to this particular um, discussion was that in ISKCON at the time, I think it was 1972, there was Prabhupada had made the GBC to run ISKCON society, and first time when they did something very horribly wrong. It was offensive. So Prabhupada banned them, stopped all this GBC, nothing to run. They started again, and again they did something which was not according to Prabhupada's instructions. So Prabhupada at the time writing said that please do not centralize everything. Centralize tax system, centralize authority, it should be decentralized. Temples, everything should be decentralized. And no matter, we may have to create registered societies for each of the states, countries, multiple locations. Let them do it. But if you have centralized things, then it creates, people have to beg for you, Prabhupada writes this, for every small thing. But we want devotees to become independently thoughtful. They learn and they'll do it. So this is the background about the independent thoughtful part. Now, what relates to us is very important. Please, if you can, all of you, take your time out, please, and show your faces, the moonlight faces, so I know and we can have some interaction if you need to be. Thank you. So, first of all, before I say anything, I would like to put a disclaimer with folded hands. This particular discussion is only meant for the devotees of Hare Krishna WECAN who sincerely follow us. And it is our duty as their servants to make sure that when they are being trained to become preachers, because we want everybody to become preachers, and when we are making them, training them to become preachers, we have to give them all information. Sometimes the information that we give may not be very palatable. Sometimes the information that we give also is beyond our capacity, my capacity too. So please, this is a very important disclaimer. This is not for everybody. Although this is in YouTube, so people may refer to this in the future, but refer to this disclaimer, please. And yes, there are unlimited faults in me. I'm the chief servant in Hare Krishna WECAN programs. And I accept that I'm not a brahmachari. Brahmacharis are elevated devotees. They control their senses. I'm not a sannyasi. It's a topmost part of a varnashram system. I'm not even a proper grihastha, but I'm a pakka grihamedhi. And for somehow or other, by the extreme callous mercy of Guru Maharaj, Maharaj had instructed me to preach. And Maharaj instructed me clearly to say that the programs must go on whether I'm there or not there. Do you understand? So I'm doing it to the best of my ability. And this is part of that training that we have to impart and caution devotees in our Hare Krishna WECAN who are following sincerely, that we are sharing what we are going to share. I have no qualification to criticize or comment on any personality whosoever, devotee, non-devotee, anybody. I have only one qualification, And the one qualification is that I have to comment upon my own behavior and I have to criticize my own self, my own behavior, so that I can correct myself. This is a fact. And as I'm doing the service in this program, I have to say certain things which may not be very palatable to many people. So please excuse me for this. But it is, as I said, for our devotee program devotees in the Hare Krishna weekend programs, past, present, and future, who are following and who will be following. So some of the points in the intermediate level, Sridhar Prabhu tried to speak, and he pointed out those points too, which is very good. About impersonalism. Srila Prabhupada has been very critical about impersonalists, which is very correct. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has been. Srila Prabhupada has been. So naturally, it is so cautionous that we do not become impersonalists. And Prabhupada also says there are two kinds of transcendentalists, impersonalists and personalists. The Prabhupada accepted impersonalism also as transcendental. It's there in the Bhagavatam. And also it is in Prabhupada's Acharan. The Prabhupada used to give Dandat Pranams to Vaishnava Sannyasis, yes. Even impersonalists. Once in Vrindavan, Prabhupada did that and told other devotees, you must do it. They are transcendentalists. The devotees were very surprised, the Western devotees. So yes, we say things, we also repeat many times, just to caution us in our preaching, but we do not demean anybody. Please understand, this is very important. I would like to just put you all on the screen, whoever is there, so I can see and we can interact with the reaction. So we do not demean anybody. This is very important to know. Please. It is none of our business to criticize anybody or demean anybody. But at the same time, we find that many times in our society of ISKCON, many devotees tend to criticize Hindus, impersonalists, for their various ways and various things. First, they would criticize that Hindus are not following their own religion. Hindu is not a religion, which is true. We also discussed this point. They would say Hindu, Bindu, all these derogatory terms they say. It took me 22 years to speak this, and I'm sharing this with my leaders program also very recently. But I realized that all of you have been under the shelter of our leaders, so it is better that we inform you straight away. You are aware about this. We don't fight with anybody, but we are cautioned of everybody. We have to protect our bhakti, being independently thoughtful. So there is no point in derogating anyone. You see, understand one thing. Prabhupada can criticize. That does not give us a license to criticize. Yes, we may caution ourselves and we speak within ourselves to say, don't, we should be careful, it's suicide. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says we should not do this, that's correct. But if you start going in public, that is very dangerous. You see, there are those who are independently thoughtful people, they say that you devotees of ISKCON, you criticize impersonalists, but you glorify the cow-eating Pope or Christian missionaries or Islam, people who follow of Islam. They eat cows. So why do you criticize them? This is a very valid point. It's a very valid point. Prabhupada was critical about everybody, not only one. But that people forget. So I generally don't take any stands, but sometimes when it becomes too much, I take a stand at times in public forum. And in one of the cases, I remember there was a very big devotee, a Prabhupada disciple, for putting a poster of Indian students. Actually, the Indian students were going to the West in the USA and were behind the USA flag, they were all cheering, So naturally, this was about education. They got education in the US university, they're cheering, that's all right. But he wrote that Indian youth are accepting US culture. You know, they're glorifying US culture, not Indian culture, not Hindu culture. So all comments came out, That put me to say, and I said, please excuse me. Um, I think you're mistaken, I said, with all humility. They are not accepting US culture, Western culture. What the photographs you are showing is that they have taken education, further education, they have gone to the USA. And it is very funny, I said, I further wrote on this point to say that how come on one side I see big devotees criticize Hindus and Indians to say that your culture you are not following. Why are you not following? Why are you not chanting Hare Krishna? Like this is a demean, And being the very, docile Hindu people, they say, yes, you are right. Now in ISKCON, there are so many Indians joining Hindus. So now they are criticizing, there are so many Indians coming in the movement. It's becoming Hinduized. So I say, what is this going on? Is it not hypocrisy? Many people liked it. Many of Prabhupada disciples also liked it, they supported this point. Nobody responded against this point. They accepted it, but they're going to have to move on. But the thing is this, it is becoming more and more of a fashion idea. Now it is correct because of the huge population of 1.4 billion people. Not everybody is Krishna conscious. But at the same time, it is growing manifold in India, including in our small programs we are preaching to so many of you who are youth of India. So there is a underlying current somewhere which needs to be corrected. I remember when I joined the movement, they would say that I wish in my next birth I take Indian birth. I remember this was told to me by many devotees. Then it fell down so badly. Now, true, it is possible that we Indians also are to be blamed. We see Western person becoming a devotee, we take selfie of them, with them, take photograph of them, we harass them. It's stupidity. I agree, it is nonsense. That's why I tell you guys, don't be like this. This is your culture, it's our culture. We should be accepting it, wholeheartedly and welcoming everybody else. Doesn't mean you make them glorified for no reason. Welcome them. Now, again, very recently, I had one very big guru posting something. I would not like to name the person. He's very big, very important. And apparently, good mood he has said, but it is coming too much. What he write is this. It was some kind of a passage. In the land of religion, the land of wisdom, young people are ignorant of the rishis and acharyas, instead idolize monkey-like music and cinema stars. The exalted lifestyle of the past is largely forgotten as modern Indians prefer to be meat eaters and drunkards. Okay. Now, apparently, there is nothing wrong with it. It's a very good message. It's perfectly all right. We accept it too. But for some reason, because it was becoming too much regularly again and again, I took some exception to this point. I don't go searching for these things. It popped up, in my whatever thread somewhere. I'm very poor in these things, but it happened. So I wrote, and people did yes, Hindus are like this, and Indians are like this, and all those things. In the land of India, when we do book distribution, one person wrote, that so nice, but people should be worshipping, but they're not doing all these things. So I wrote, Hare Krishna with all respects. When many pious Indians join ISKCON and take to Bhakti Yoga movement, so he was criticizing nobody is becoming devotees, nobody was serious about it. So I said, when many pious Indians join ISKCON and take to Bhakti Yoga movement, they are criticized, saying, now there are so many Indians in the movement and so less Westerners. The movement has become Hinduized, etc. So one should also see so many Hindus are joining us. And so many of them are friends of our movement from the outside. That's why it's become very rich. Otherwise, ISKCON was in a very big poverty after Prabhupada's departure. Their temples were empty. It's because of the expatriate Indians living overseas who gave donations. I've seen it. It went started 22 years ago. We were pioneers. You take up the whole temple, the festivals, donations and all. Now it has become very big because of these reasons. Most of the congregations are Indians and Hindus. So I said, one should also see that many Hindus are joining us. And so many of them, many of them are friends of the movement from the outside. They will naturally be attracted sooner or later, as so many of us have. So can't understand this criticism of Hindus all the time. Hindus or Indians are criticized if they are non-devotees, and are criticized even if they become devotees. It has become a new fashion in ISKCON to criticize Indians. What a shame. Jai Srila Prabhupada, Hare Krishna. So I gave my opinion, and strong opinion. I had somebody said to me, yes, many do this. Possibly they think it helps similar thinking white devotees align with them and become disciples. So they wrote. I could go further. Said, but this kind of rhetoric always sell, no matter how many times they keep repeating the same broken record. Nobody is denying that many Indians are swayed by the Western way, and it is bad. But many are turning to their Vedic roots also. They may not always join ISKCON because of the way our ISKCON leaders have destroyed the legacy of Srila Prabhupada, like supporting children rapists, homosexuals, money swindlers, rapists of women, cheaters, original book editions, etc., etc. It seems that today Hindus and Indians are more respected by the Karmi world, because so many CEOs in the world and they respect us, including the prime ministers of other countries. The meat eaters, gamblers, woman hunters, intoxicants, they respect. Then the so-called very pure and religious devotees of our religious ISKCON society, which is started by Srila Prabhupada, who also himself is from India, Bharat. Funnily, these people forget that before they came in touch with Srila Prabhupada, they and their parents were themselves mother cow eaters and alcohol drinkers. But many Hindus won't eat mother cow at least. It seems they all have some hidden agendas. And we call ourselves followers of Bhagavad Gita as it is. We are not this body, we are spirit soul. And somebody wrote here again, the same person responds. The spin helps, reinforce that Indians as a second class citizen in ISKCON. And they get used to their place, service and donations. From the coolie labor, there is no interest in cultivation, only how to gratify the first class citizen's entitlement. So then I wrote, but I concluded by saying few things, So yes, Prabhu, how about the lofty, big, pure Western devotees instead say, we are born of low-class people. Our lineage is mother cow eating, woman hunting, drinking, gambling. Even our priests do most of this above anti-Vedic things. But you are born of pious Vedic family heritage. You are so lucky that you even know your gotra, that is family blood lineage linked to a specific progenitor rishi. You please make us sorry, you please make use of your good birth and not waste it like us. Now we have become fortunate to change by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, who came from your Bharat Bhumi to change us in the West. So, following in his footsteps, we request you with folded hands to please don't follow our past Western way of life, because we know it leads only to sin only, only to only sin. Now, this is called humbly changing young Indian people's mentality correctly. Instead of passing lofty comments on them, on others, take some self responsibility of the worst kind of anti Vedic demoniac skeletons found in ISKCON closet, which the leaders have tried to hide from the public for so many years. And now they are exposed. Jai Srila Prabhupada, Hare Krishna. So this is a stand I've taken. It may be right, it may be wrong. I said this today so all of you are made aware that don't be blinded, don't be fooled, and we are not at all ashamed to accept our shortcomings. I remember when Rishi Sunak became the Prime Minister of England. So I created a post. I said, very good, he is becoming, at least he's supporting our Krishna consciousness movement, he's supporting Lord Ram and all those things. Immediately all these people jumped on me to say, well, here is his quote. His constituency are cow breeders, slaughterhouses people, who give cow for slaughter. And he's saying that asking for votes from them. Shame, all those things. So I saw this person who was commenting like this. He was doing some cow protection, Western person. So I spoke to him, then listen, very politely I said, listen, please don't do all these things. Somebody else had written it, and that our common thread. So I said, please don't do such things. Said, in all fairness, I don't want to pick up a fight with you. We are not doing any, keyboard warrior you are fighting. But let us face it, your parents and grandparents also may be eating cows, man, and alcohol drinker. Now that you are become a devotee by Srila Prabhupada's mercy, last few years, you're doing cow protection, so you're criticizing somebody else who has never eaten cow. At least see, he is the biggest supporter of our Vedic culture in the world. First ever. Can you imagine this? That if you're preaching, you understand the importance of this. But if you're not, you'll criticize because you have nothing to lose. Now I can tell you one thing. For some reason, it is a Kali Yuga process, and they will accept anybody as God. They'll accept anybody as superior. But moment it comes to Indians or Vedic Dharma, everybody attacks it, demeans it, to destroy it, minimize it. As I started by saying that Prabhupada criticized impersonalists. That's right. We also do so for our own sake. But they are also very big pious devotees. That is, they don't eat cow, man. They don't do illicit sex. Of course, we saw so many people falling down. So also so many of the Islam preachers falling down. So many Christian preachers falling down. And they openly eat cow. Even it is a fact. I've read it, accepted it was done by even Dalai Lama. He eats cow for his health benefit. But we worship them. And we criticize impersonalists. What right have we got? Yes, we criticize. As far as our knowledge is concerned, we should protect ourselves. Okay? I wanted to share this. Many of you are in the beginners program. It may be shocking for you. Intermediate level also, because leaders also, we shared with them very slowly later on. But this is a fact of life. And that is the reason why we say it is our heritage. And we not belittle anybody else. We worship them. All Vaishnavas are equal. In fact, there are much better worshippers, Vaishnavas than us and than me, non-Indians or Indians. We don't discriminate on a bodily platform. But why do they discriminate? Why do they not go and say, Muslim youth? They'll kill them, man. They'll say, yes, Bharat Bhumi was born. That's right. Because we're docile, they say all those things. And people write, tears are coming from my eyes, reading this and all those things. Yeah, we are like this. But that does not mean that it is an open license. Any person, even a person who's just joined 3 years in the movement, starts to criticize Indians. Before that, he was praying Indians. I've seen it. And they would say that only now dhoti is not worn anywhere. Dhoti is Indian. Some another big guru says, Sanat says, dhoti is Indian. Dhoti is not Indian. Dhoti is Vedic, man. There's nothing Indian. Even this much information they don't have, but lofty knowledge they've got. I can tell you, in front of their knowledge, I'm not even a dust in the sand. My qualification is nothing. But I know one thing, hypocrisy is not good. And we are not in any business. Prabhupada has not taught us. Prabhupada has not made us into in a business of criticizing anybody. We only criticize our own self. That is Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj mood. All I'm telling you this is, sir, you are aware and be cautious. That's it, nothing else. Please do not pick up any fight with anybody. I don't pick up any fight with anybody. There are a few things I said because I was so frustrated, after 22 years of hearing this. So I hope I've conveyed this message very clearly. Amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. There is no discrimination of anyone who is a devotee on bodily platform. The only level is that how surrendered one person is to Krishna. And I know I'm far away from this surrender. All I said is just this point so that you are aware. Because you are like future preachers in our Hare Krishna WECAN and carrying Srila Prabhupada's flag. Dasa we say, make your home into a temple. Everything that you do becomes seva. Today I was a little bit delayed because I was doing seva outside, cleaning up. Many of you are very lucky to have living in apartments and all that. There's not much outside cleaning. Here there's so many things going on, including the gardening, weeding, cobwebs, and oh my God, So yes, Hare Krishna. I hope I've made it very clear. Okay, right. So does anyone want to say anything on this? I'll conclude very fast. It's good. Then I said things which are to be spoken. Right. Please feel free if you want to share anything. It is on YouTube. It's going to remain in the YouTube. Okay. So I'm just telling you that. You may not want to say anything. No problem. Tomorrow somebody can go against you. Perfectly all right. But again, as I've put a disclaimer, this is for our training purposes in Hare Krishna WECAN. We have nothing to do with anybody else. We are not criticizing anybody. It's only for our training purposes. Yeah. Okay. Now, in what I said, do you want to clarify anything? Any one of you, please. Is it absolutely clear whatever I said? Yes or no? Is it clear what I told you? Please do not pick up any fights with anybody. That is not our way. Okay? And we do not want to criticize anybody. That's not our way. And speaking the truth is not criticism. It's not Vaishnava Aparad. And then we have got disciples of just the Guru saying that, have you read his book and all that? I'm telling you, when that person wrote this, that big sannyasi, I knew he's writing a book and is this part of the book. I wrote it in my comment also and I removed it. I said, I never not be judgmental. A disciple wrote to me saying that, have you read his book? Why should I read anybody's book, man? I'm not even finishing Prabhupada's books, man. You're commenting big. I said, I did not. I said, no problem. Let me not fight anybody. Hare Krishna. All glories to them. All glories to everybody. Yes, you want to say something, Pradima Prabhu?
Krishna, so you mentioned one point that we should know what is best for preaching. You told the example of Rishi Sunak. So can
Yes.
you clarify that more? I want to know more about it. How we can know what is best for preaching and how we should react about that political
See,
situation.
what I meant to say is that um, what is beneficial of preaching, meaning a person who is preaching understands the difficulty. See, when we are preaching here in the West, okay, even when we do food distribution, we have to write we are sanctified food, prasad. Many people don't come because sanctified food, no problem, it's their choice, but we write it, you see. And many of them, I remember being in when we were doing bigger programs in big community center and all, it would be very difficult. Sometimes there would be very animosity. Not everybody, not all of them. So some of them would take away our posters and all that, Difficult to preach, So in all that, if you've got somebody head of state who's following your dharma, man, why not? And he understands our point of view. So for you, you may not understand this, but when he came to India, okay, with his wife for G20 summit, I'm not glorifying him. I'm just giving an example of his, okay, of the preaching when you ask answering a question. He went to all the temples in India. So I was thinking immediately, seeing this, that all his private security, the security guys of from Britain and all that, and they came, they sanitized the area for Hindu temples, Indian temples. For Prime Minister, what a difference, man! Big pioneering work he is doing, and very boldly. And the day has come. The day has come. See, Prabhupada had said that from this time onwards, you will find devotees in the world parliaments. But I'm preaching, and I can tell you this. Many ISKCON devotees misunderstand to say ISKCON devotee will be in the parliament. Because many of them don't want to be in the politics also. They don't even vote. How can they be in parliament? They forget. What is meant is that there are friends like devotees, When he says Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, he's glorifying Lord Ram, It's saying he's distributing prasadam, is glorifying Lord Krishna too. This is not a devotee to that extent. That people misunderstand. That is devotional service. That is preaching. That we understand. But who are not, they'll not understand this. They'll criticize, sit and criticize everybody. Keyboard warriors. Now you understand, President?
Yes, Prabhu.
Good. Good. All right.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Hari Prabhuji.
Just quickly, Prabhu, thank you for giving so much time to such a point. Has anybody else, only one devotee has responded, or people have in general responded
No,
to
no, no.
him?
No, only one. Generally,
Only
they
one.
do not, they do not want to engage. I would not engage. Like whoever responds to me, I'm not going to fight with them. This is what my opinion is. I give my opinion. He's criticizing. I'm not criticizing. And you may have an opinion against me. Perfectly all right. You may call me a fool. So many people call me a fool. You have an opinion. You have a right to have an opinion. Good for you, man. I just give you my opinion. That's why I'm preaching, in within my circle of sphere of activity, my opinion counts. Maybe you're not in your opinion, in your circle of activity, so no problem. All good to you. So even others
So
were
this,
responded, I do not know,
so this shows the immaturity of that person, understand?
Yeah, woman, they may defend, it's okay. Immaturity, maturity, I do not know. I don't look at it that way. So good for them. All glories to you, you know. But if you expect me to, like, it's very simple, If will your guru respond to my comments? So no, why should I respond? That's correct. So why should I respond to your comment? I'm not a guru, but why should I? Give me one answer, one reason. What is the value of your comment? Like, what is the value of my opinion, my comment? No value. It may have some value within my sphere of activity in Hare Krishna weekend, little bit, whatever, that may not be there also. So that's it. That's what I'm saying is within our society, within our Hare Krishna weekend, we are not, it's for our training, not for anybody else. That's it. So many of them. One guru wrote, if you become Krishna conscious, you don't become Indian. Oh, so many likes and comments and Jai Gurudev, all those. I wrote to him, what? Did Prabhupada make you Indian or Krishna conscious? After you became devotee, did you become Indian? You are still American. So this tells me that you have a hidden agenda for writing all these things. I wrote like this. People appreciated it. That's right, hidden agenda. So we have to be very careful, who's speaking, why somebody says something. It's a oof. I've learned to live life after I came into the society of ISKCON. That's why we are a bit away with him and away from him, away from them. We are with them, friends, very close. Now we are doing preaching separately. With them, away from them. Preaching together, preaching separately. So it's quite chaotic. It's very, very chaotic. It complicates our preaching. Is that okay, Prabhuji?
Yes, Bhagavan. Thank you.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. There's another person raised those there. Yes, Path Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so much for this topic that you raised. Prabhu, I had a question about. So I was not able to completely get the point. Maybe you can throw some light on it. So I got the point that. You said in one thing that yes, Indian youth are. It's no doubt that you said that yes, they are adopting Western culture. Some of them,
Yes.
and it's no doubt that we are
Many,
seeing
many
this,
of them.
many of them, and it's there. So we are like you are accepting that is
Yes.
happening, right?
Yes.
Okay, first point. A second point is then if this is true, then what was the position exactly? If you can just, I cannot catch it. Like, can you just raise it
The
once
answer is
more?
very simple, Prabhuji. If somebody is becoming very lofty to say they are becoming, drunkards and all those things,
Mhm.
well, and this person is a society, is a ISKCON leader, GBC head. Why the GBC people, and Guru and all that? I don't know if it's GBC, I do not know. Maybe not. But big Guru. So why don't you, first of all, clear your own closet? Where there is a big sannyasi who was running a school in Mayapur. It's a fact. This is not an allegation. This is a proof. He is running school in Mayapur, Gurukul, where for 45 years he was running the school. And for 45 years, children were raped by him, by so many other leaders, by so many, and he had a whole system of senior children raping the younger children. My God. And there was also child protection officer. They have given 4 reports, 3 or 4 reports, 4 times, to say remove him. All this is going on, and given to all the GBCs and head of ISKCON. Everybody knows, but nobody spoke about it. Nobody did anything for 45 years. So I said, why don't you do something about that, man? Now he's removed because one girl came out in the open and said he's raped me. And there's a huge hue and cry from both Western and Indian people, mainly Western. Said nothing happening, nothing doing, like get out of here. I was part of it. And now he is removed, and still these people supported him. And this person, this particular guru, did not even say anything. They're good friends. So I'm telling them, you got skeletons in your closet. You clean that up before you give big lofty comments about other people.
Okay.
You understand? At least these people are not child rapists, man. They're behind bars. They're following Western culture. That's right. And you're lofty, giving big things. That's why I said, why don't you say this way that we were like this? Please, we are requesting you, don't be like this. There's a proper way of saying things. And this is just an example. Every devotee speaks like this, man. So many of them I've seen. Excuse me, not every. So many of them are speaking like this. And so many of them support us on this. You're right. Western people should not be doing, or non-Indians should not be speaking like this. The Indians should not be speaking like this. We have got so much bad situation going on. You cannot imagine. So they cannot even solve their own problems before doing all this big. Why do they speak? Why can't they speak like this about other youths? Once I understand, twice I understand. So many years going on. You understand this point?
Yes, sir.
See, how difficult is it for you to say that I have not done this? If you are innocent, will you say this?
Yes.
Correct? They cannot say this. There are big people came out and say, no, but this person should be given some money, for he spent so many years. Not talking about now. He's only one example. Don't think only one person. There are unlimited people like this. So many, sorry, no, there are so many like this. Gays and children abusers and all these things. And the doctor things they're talking about. Why do you think we tell you guys, make your home into a temple first? Then you go out anywhere. This is the reason why. Otherwise, you cannot get knowledge. You'll be disturbed by all these things. I'm very sorry to say. I'm making the life of your leaders a bit difficult now. Please excuse me. But this is a fact. That's why we say sit down, read Prabhupada's books, preach. Who's stopping you? We protect everything for you. You make sure nobody touches you people. So you can preach. I take the karma. You know? So why? We don't criticize anybody, but at the same time, we know your background. Some guru says UFO is going to land in my I want a UFO landing pad on my building in Mayapur. What nonsense is this? It became loony. And when he had all these things going on, the GBC said, "Oh no, he's in trance. He's not in trance. He's you know." What do you want me to say? This is what I'm saying is just few things. Please, I don't want to get into all those things. All glories to them. But before you bow down next time, downwards, you be very careful. You follow me, or follow your leaders. When they do downwards, you do downwards. Although we mentally pray to them, all glories to your service, all glories to you. But don't expect me to follow you. Independently thoughtful. Remember this point. Many of them said, "Why don't you bring your people like this? They should be all gurus should be exposed them to all gurus. They can do whatever they want to do. We train them, it's up to them. There's no need to." Tell me one thing. Do you know the biggest controversy within ISKCON? Anything you know?
No, Prabhu.
Okay, leave it. No problem.
About just know about this child raping and all of that.
No, anything. And this is the only thing you know. Is it the most controversial thing about ISKCON?
That's the most controversial I know.
Okay, no problem. Then leave it at that. Then you got the answer for it. Okay, is this question answered for you?
Yes, Prabhu. It is answered. Just my second follow-up was that on the point that you said independently thoughtful, which was the theme.
Yes.
Yeah. So, Prabhu, like, how can we be independently thoughtful when we are in also a part of an organization?
No. What is the difficulty? You read Prabhupada's books. Prabhupada always says independent thoughtfulness. Full stop. Follow what Prabhupada has said. What is the difficulty? What is the difficulty? You tell me. The difficulty is because we do not study Prabhupada's books. Every book Prabhupada talks to you is to become devotee. He never says, go and join ISKCON. He said, you can do that. We have created a society so people can get advantage of it, get association. But never is it said, you can become devotee anywhere. Why? Mirabai had to join ISKCON? Tukaram Maharaj had to join ISKCON? Prabhupada to join ISKCON, he created ISKCON. He was a devotee before that. Prabhupada's father who had to join ISKCON? Narsi Mehta to join ISKCON? Then, and he has not created anything new. Same Bhagavad Gita, same Bhagavatam, you read as it is, you become devotee. Stop it, full stop, nothing else. Is this okay? I stopped you, your full question, but was this your question?
Yes, Prabhu, it was on those lines. Yes.
Think about it. Takes a bit of time. It takes taken us a lot of time, many years of practice to say this is nonsense. If two people, if you and me discuss, we agree on something, and then I turn away and say, where did I say this? Is it in writing? So that means I don't believe there's Krishna, right? It's Paramatma sitting in both our hearts. So what do you say to this? If you read Prabhupada's book, will you do this? Reading is one thing. If you follow, will you do this? Will you touch a woman, raping the woman? Will you touch a child inappropriately? Right. Will you poison somebody? Right. Right. I don't touch all these small children when they're in the program. When little Navina was little, Shubhada was little, mother was little, even boys, girls, I would want to, take them, lift them, talk to them and all, but, sometimes I hold their hands and come, that is too much for me, Just to hold their hand to say, come here, is too much for me. I'm very comfortable. Why? Why like this? Remember I said this many times in the past, I've said this indirectly things. How did Guru Maharaj behave with women? Remember what I said? How I showed this? Tell me. If you remember, tell me.
So you gave an
Think
example.
about it. Think about it.
You gave this example of one lecture where Maharaj was sitting and there was just a female just there, and he was moving he was being very uncomfortable.
Yeah, not a woman. Everybody was there, and the lady came to talk, and Ma became like this, going like this. Okay, and speak like this, no problem. That's okay. And I was there between her and Maharaj. I was sitting there, and the whole room was full of devotees. And Ma became like this to show this is how you should behave, Ambrish rascal. Legs up like this. Thank you. Yes, yes. Hare Krishna. If she was with her husband, that's another thing. They can talk. So this is how I give examples indirectly. I'm telling you why directly. This is the reason why. Because then these children should know. Because if I hold them, some other big sannyasis also come, maybe Guru, they may not say, parents may not say anything, Not everybody is wrong. I have seen my son was picked up by so many other gurus and all that. No problem. They are not all of them are bad. I'm saying that not all of them are good. It creates bad name, man. It's very dangerous. All glories to them. Not everything is wrong, but why? We just follow Prabhupada's books. We give respect to everybody. We do our thing. We don't get involved in these things. But we know everything. This is the key. Knowing everything so that we can go away from that. We can, surpass it. But if you don't know anything, you're like a child in the water, doesn't know how to swim. You're going to drown. Is that okay? You understand why I said this?
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah. So you clean your closet first, man. Why were you keeping quiet in all these things when it's going on? And I fully agree. You may have your own reasons, good for you, but I know the reasons. So don't be hypocritical against me. All right. I respect your reasons, all glories to you, but don't comment like this. This is wrong. Because if the authorities say this, criticize, the disciples criticize. Everybody criticizes. It becomes a fashion. We also criticize to say that Indians are becoming, Western way of life, it is wrong. We say all the time. But that doesn't mean we demean or destroy and all those things, We say it and we move on, not in a public arena. Public arena, we speak in a very different way. Or they'll kill you, If you speak that it's Muslims, they'll kill you first. What do you mean? You're becoming or following our religion, becoming Christian, they'll also probably kill you. Hindus only we cry, I'm not criticizing anybody, no religion. That's all. I'm just a little bit of, yeah. Please don't misunderstand. I mean, no Muslims, no Christians. All of them are glorified, Just an example I gave. Please excuse me. Is it okay? Does it answer your questions? Okay.
Yes.
Coming to close to a program, anyone has any burning points, question to raise? Then okay.